Steven, you're never there. Do you actually work?
So today we are going to head towards Midtown, and we are specifically going to go to a new listing we have at the brokerage. It's just south of 31st and Madison. So that means it's very close to all of the hotspots that anyone could want in Midtown, right? So that means you're close to the gathering place, like literally walking distance to gathering place, walking distance to Brookside. It's a short drive to Utica Square. You could probably even walk that if you fancied it. And of course, with where it's located, and you'll see as we get over there, as we're on the drive, that you have riverside trails, you have all of the benefits of being on the trails. And that's really why Midtown is so sought after, right? We did our first open house there yesterday. And what was so interesting during the open house was we had a lot of people that already live in that part of town, but live in slightly smaller parts of town. And the one common thread from everyone who came through there was that once you have the walkability that living in that part of Tulsa affords you and that lifestyle that comes with it, that's really, really, really hard to let go of. So now we're on further down Riverside. You're at 31st and Riverside. Discovery Lab's right there for the Kids Museum, and you can see obviously we are in the gathering place itself, headed towards downtown Wind North. So what we're going to do is we'll go right on 31st, and then we're going to head over towards Madison, head south. The house is a little bit down on South Madison, like I said, 3150 South Madison, and you'll see just how close we are to all of this stuff around the gathering place. And on a day like today, it's a beautiful day outside. This is a great day. This is one of the benefits of living in this part of Tulsa, is the ease of access and having these sort of things literally on your doorstep. Super safe if you're a cyclist, you want to hop on the trails and get over there, and then from those trails you can go all the way out to Broken Arrow, you go all the way back out to Skytook. There's a long way to go. So you're at 0.3 of a mile, easy walking distance to get to the gathering place. And so right here is the house we're about to go tour today as a new construction. So got to the house, and you can see, like, when you look at this street, this is, you know, typical what Midtown is. And I think this is why some people like it, is that the houses aren't cookie cutter, they're eclectic. And when you look at this one and the elevation and what the builder did, the builder really tried to make sure it blended with the neighborhood. Because what you don't want to have happen is sometimes people put new builds up in Midtown and people can feel funny about it to some degree, if we're just being honest, because they don't feel they fit in. They're like white square boxes and it's too harsh, and it kind of, to some degree, neglects the character of what the neighborhoods offer. And that's why people want to be in Midtown, is they like the fact, like I said, you have all the amenities, but it's not cookie cutter. It feels different, and with that comes this kind of eclectic group of people that all live together, and it's kind of somewhat diversified, and it adds to the character. So when you look at this cedar that he did up the top, the accents, you know, when you go into Maple Ridge North, you'll see those older, bigger mansion style properties where that's common, and in these peaks with the arches as well. This is all reminiscent of this era of home that you see when you go north of the 31st and you do venture that way and you go along around Dead Man's Hill area and 29th Place. You see these kind of homes in there. So when you have a builder who acknowledges that and doesn't overlook the history of the area, I think that's something really, really important. So obviously we've got a great 2-car garage. All your drains from the back of the house as well are tied into the front, and they run out to the street. So there's another little detail there added. So the first thing you notice as soon as you walk in is this plate. I mean, this is a soaring plate at the very beginning of the house. So it really has a grand entrance. And another thing that I really, really appreciate about this builder, and they've really kind of shown off on this house, and the office exemplifies this, is the trim, right? This trim that they've done throughout is just incredible. And we talked about it a little bit outside, but it is an acknowledgement and kind of a nod to the original homes over here. If you go in those homes built in the 1920s, the 1930s, those big homes, they had rooms like this. Now, obviously, we live very differently today than what they did then. And so in this house, this is a study. And you have these very warm, earthy tones. And again, this is all timeless, right? These are timeless colors. These aren't trend pieces. And when you're investing in a property like this, that's something to be cognizant of. So obviously you've got your study with the double doors on the front of the house. And then we have the half bath, kind of a bit of a showcase in this one to some degree, to be honest, because it it is a showstopper. You look at these colors, they did this kind of, we can kind of see it, this Venetian plaster style that they did with this texture finish on it. And then of course the trim again, just really detailed trim. Big fan of the raised sink as well, or the pedestal sink. When you have guests over, this is a fun place for them to come and see. So when we get downstairs, the other thing on the first floor that's great is you have a guest suite. So when I have buyers looking to buy a home in Midtown, specifically a new build, one of the things I try and encourage them to think about is, resell. Like if you're going to resell your home, what do you want to do? Well, you need to appeal to as many big buyer pools, right? So if we think of all buyers as a pie, one of the things I've heard a lot of, and I try and get clients to be aware of, is buying in Midtown Tulsa. Primary suite on the first floor is always a big seller in Tulsa. Tulsa market loves primary suite on the first floor. But also, if you can do a guest bedroom en suite with its own walk-in closet, that's a big bonus, and a study as well. So if you have those three things, we've always kind of seen those do well in the market. What's really interesting about that concept, and this one in particular, is a lot of people who buy these homes, if you think about where they are in life, if you're spending, 1.3 million on a home, is you're probably developing in your professional career, and you may have kids, and you may have family from out of town who comes and visits you. And so if you're in that phase of life, this could be a great nursery, or alternatively, it could be a place your parents stay when they come visit. So bearing that in mind, if you've got older parents, this is a great design option where they have a entryless shower. I mean, this is great. There is no obstacle for anyone to get in there. Now, immediately, some people go, well, where would you bathe the baby? We've got you covered with that on the primary suite. But this shower is a great feature and really well designed and well done. And of course, the tile to the ceiling is nice too. And then a great big closet as well. So this is a comfortable space for guests. Probably spend a little time in that bathroom. We can get out of that bathroom, right? Okay, so now, when we go into through the rest of the first floor, a nice little feature here, you want to put your artwork, trophies, I don't know, whatever you've got. Those kind of things there. The backlit panel is nice. We've had some clients in the past, what they do is they end up building out a wine rack. We've had some people look at these and they have a sculpture. Obviously Oklahoma, they're big on Remingtons. You put something like that there, that works well too. And then again, storage underneath. So this house is over 4,200 square feet. 4,200 and some change, and it has really well utilized storage. A good example of that is this closet. So under the stairs, we've got a good coat closet. Now, if you're a skier, you're a hunter, any of that stuff, that's a great place to store all your seasonal stuff. And then of course, the main living area itself, which again is a showstopper in this property, Calcutta marble. And when you look at this, you've got these inset cabinets. Obviously, they're all soft close on the drawers. I'll show you what they look like. Really well done cabinetry throughout. Also a big fan of the cut they did on these countertops on this. So we're starting to see a shift back to these softer finishes, right? The hard lines and the hard contrasts of the whites and grays, we're seeing them go. So what you're seeing now is the archways are coming back throughout. Softer tones, warmer palettes are coming in. And that really is kind of exemplified by the way they've used these different stains on this property. And these kind of, I think he calls this like a mushroom color that he uses on his drawers and cabinets, but they're really well done. 8-burner stove, Forno is the brand. I believe they are designed in Italy, made in Canada. They also have a safety switch. Let's see if the gas is on, where if this blows out, it reignites. Let's see if we can get it to do it. Safety feature, your house isn't just gonna flood with gas. Do it one more time, so I kind of spit on it a little bit. So you can hear it lighting. Great feature of this. Pot filler. So this is like a chef's dream setup here. And then we have the beverage fridge alongside here to kind of finish out all of the appliances in the kitchen. 2 separate climates in the beverage fridge. And then you've got your drawers here for sodas and water. Now I should probably show you the fridge freezer because a lot of people do comment on this. Massive, enormous, double fridge freezer. Fantastic again, and they've really, these designs have got a lot better because initially when these came out, the biggest complaint clients had was that they were so shallow. They didn't store as much as a normal fridge. Now they've designed them better, they're more efficient, so they're deeper, you have more storage in the doors. So moving on, we'll go to the primary suite. So obviously room for a dining table here. Actually, let's do the yard before we do the primary suite. It's a little wet because the sprinklers are running. But good sized covered patio. You've got your fireplace. They also leave it ready for gas and electric hookups if you want to build an outdoor kitchen. Now, something to note. two details I really like about this build. Number one, down the side of the house, they don't worry about doing grass. Why don't you do grass down there? Well, it's not gonna live. There's no light, it's hard to take care of, it just turns into mud. So if you have kids or dogs, you don't want that becoming a bit of a mud pit. So what do? They gravel the whole thing too down there. And they also put, you'll see a sprinkler head there to help keep this moist, which is good for the foundation. Now, the other thing, some people came through the open house yesterday and they said to me, you know, this is great, but why aren't these sliding doors? Very valid question. The reason that on this particular design, the builder didn't do sliding doors here, and I asked him this, is because if they make those sliding doors, you take away a wall for furniture. So what I mean by that is, if these are sliding doors, I can't put my sectional, my L-frame sectional, back here on the patio like this, because now I have doors behind me. Likewise on the inside, I can't put furniture up against it, or I can't put tables up against it, because now they're doors, and it reduces the amount of space I have to go outside. So all your drains are tied in back here. You see it's kind of wet now because the sprinklers just ran. And now primary suite. Huge primary suite, massive. Big vaulted ceiling, transom window, tons of natural light. I mean, we're in the house right now. It's 11:30, so we're getting close to midday, and really does do well with the light in here. And then the bathroom itself excels. So we talked about the guest suite not having a bathtub. You have one in here, so that's great. So if you had a baby or anything bathing young kids, you have that option. You also have a great shower, and then they wrap this wall with tile around the bathroom, which is a really clean finish. His and her vanities. We also have a station here for you to set up and drop in things like hair straighteners, hair dryers, and set up your mirror to do your hair and makeup there if need be. And then the closet, again, is great storage. Really, really, really efficient. In Oklahoma, it's not like California or Florida where you can have one wardrobe. We have to have two wardrobes, winters and summers, deviate, and a different, very different. So you have seasonal pull downs at the top. These racks drop down that you can hang your clothes on and put them down. And then another little feature, two little things I really like about this closet, these shelves are all adjustable. So if you've got more boots or sneakers, you can adjust them to fit. A second thing, and this gets overlooked so much, is they put an electrical outlet in here. So you want a watch box that winds, you can plug that in there. You want your steamer, your iron, any of that stuff, you have it right there, which is a really, really great feature. Now the laundry room, big laundry room space. Like I said, there's another build we have similar where there's room for a fridge in here. On this one, they didn't do that. They did the side-by-side washer and dryer, big sink down there. And again, tons of storage all through the laundry room. Drop zone here as well. This off the laundry room. 3 hooks, plenty of space. And while we're here, we might as well do the garage. Oversized 2-car garage. Plenty of depth to get Escalades, Suburbans, those kind of things in here as well. Okay, let's head on upstairs. Take a look around the second floor of property. So upstairs, 3 bedrooms, 3 full baths, a landing area, a media area. But first, let's take a look at the attic space. So really efficiently done. So all the furnaces are pushed over to one side. You got your tankless water heater at the back, and then you'll see that the house has a spray foam envelope. What this means is your utilities are super efficient. It's great, it's awesome. It's very easy to heat and cool this house, and very affordable to heat and cool this house, and you need that in Oklahoma summers. So what this does is it kind of acts like a big insulated barrier. Once you get the house nice and cool, it keeps it cool. The other thing you have is you have 2 units that bring in fresh air from the outside too, so you don't have a humidity creating there too. That's a really great feature of the property. Let's do this front bedroom over here. So we've got the landing area. I think a lot of people that have bought houses like this kind of set these up as a play zone or a reading area. They put a couple of sofas out here. It's kind of a neat hangout spot. You could put a card table. It's a great addition to the second floor. And then in here, it's bedroom number 3. On the front of the house, tons of natural light. Like if we turned off the lights in here, let's show you. I just want you to see kind of how good this is. This property really has a lot of natural light in. So all the lights are off, but it still feels light and bright. And some of that's because of the paint colors, but a lot of it's because of how big these windows are. It really lets in a ton of light. And then this bathroom as well, that attaches to this bedroom, is also a shower only bathroom. And they did a really nice textured tile in here. This green color is a really neat tile. I'm a big fan of that, and I love the way they did a different tile on the back then on the sides to add a bit of texture and kind of make it a little more exciting to take a look at. Okay, so that's bedroom number 3. Let's go take a look at the media room. Well, of course, nowadays you don't need a huge home cinema system. You can pretty much go and take care of it in Costco on a Saturday on your own with a big TV and some speakers. And if that's the room, if that's what you want to do, this would be the best room for it. This room is designed exactly to be a media room. So there's no windows in here, obviously. You can shut the door. It's completely dark in here, and it's the perfect space to kind of hang out, watch sports, all that kind of thing. If you're into it, video game set up for kids. It's just a great family room to have. Okay, bedroom number 4. Bedroom number 4 on the southwest corner of the property. Good closet again. Plenty of space in here. Bed wall here, and this setup here was kind of done, you know, if you want to put a homework station in here, a reading nook, that kind of thing was what that was done for there. Additional closet to the right there. And then the bathroom for this property is right here. So this one accesses the hallway too. So if someone's using the media room, this would be the bathroom they would come to. You also have 2 very well-sized linen closets. We've got one right here, in between the bathroom and the bedroom. And then we have the second one here, kind of a double door version of that one. So tons of storage. And then the 5th and final bedroom on this floor, which is my actual personal favorite because of all these windows, is this one we're in right now. Another great size closet. This house is very comfortable. It works for multiple types of potential buyers. And when you see these finishes and this level of detail that this property has, it really is incredible, something worth seeing in person. So to kind of recap where we are, we're in the very heart of Tulsa. We're in Midtown Tulsa. We are walking distance to the gathering place. We are walking distance to Brookside. We are walking distance to the Philbrook. We are a very short drive or walk, depending on how you felt about it, to Utica Square and Cherry Street. And so with Brookside, you have all the benefits of Lululemon, Shades of Brown, New York Bagel Cafe, Bricktown Brewery. Hot take, best pizza in Tulsa outside of a pizza place, Bricktown Brewery. It's a fact. You don't need to email me, comment below. It's the best pizza in Tulsa, that's that place. But that's all right on your doorstep. It's all right there. So what this gives you is the benefit of being at home in such a beautiful, comfortable space like this, but also having the benefits and amenities of everything that Brookside and Midtown has to offer. So if you want more details on this, like, comment, subscribe, message us. We'll set up a tour and appreciate you taking the time to watch today.